So beyond the field, I remember some years back I was talking to one of my church members, and her grandson was having some issues, and she was like, he still want to live in them high school days, but now it's time for him to grow up, and it's time for him to become a man. And she said, I don't think y'all did a good enough job teaching him that. And so that
Oh,
it went off, beyond the field, and she was absolutely correct. Like, we're not teaching our young men, or our, let me say this, we're not teaching our student athletes to be full student athletes.
most definitely.
And what that mean is, when a young man come through a program, and it's just my belief, it's just my belief, I try to make sure when that young man, or let me say, when that student athlete leaves the program, they have an ideal of what they want to do. Because football gonna stop for everybody, basketball gonna stop for everybody, women's basketball, women's
Even
football,
golf.
all that's going it's gonna stop. It's gonna go away. And then what are you left with? And a lot of times we're left with a lot of student athletes. They have mental health issues because they still want that limelight, they still want all that, but now you in the real world and it don't come like that every day. And now you got to be your own cheerleader. You got to give your own pit rally. Like, you got to do that stuff yourself. You got to find your job. You ain't got nobody out here coaching you every day.
Welcome to Beyond the Field, where we empower student athletes and family members beyond the field of sports. I'm your host, Andrew Layton. I got with me Jason Christian, Michael Patterson. Coach Mike, I see you got that Georgia hat on.
Hey man, repping all day, man. SEC champs.
Oh, wow. So all of a sudden you're an SEC champ now, but at the beginning you weren't wearing that hat.
Oh yeah, man. Everybody know. Everybody know that G stay with me, man.
Yes,
That,
man. It was
that
definitely
G
a
stay
great game.
down with me, man. Everybody know it.
Yeah, it definitely was a great game. Definitely a great game. So on this right now, before we jump into what we do, we want to let people know who we are. My name's Andrew Layton. Created a company, Big Dreams Network, about in 2013, and I've been in the business and trying to navigate my way through this mentorship of kids. So I've coached high school football, played, high level of football as well, and I have my own mentorship program, and that's why we're creating Beyond the Field. So that's Andrew Layton in a nutshell, and you will get to know me more better as we get more shows put in. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and let my other brothers introduce themselves. So we're gonna start with Jason Christian. You go ahead and introduce yourself and let the people know what you bring to the team.
Yes, sir. Jason Christian, from Jersey, lived in Boston. I've been in Fort in Fort Myers for 20 years. So me, I got a heavy background working with youth. So I used to run a life skills program for youth, and then also youth that were in alternative sentencing as well. And then I worked in banking, and right now I currently work with Global Payments. I do sales. Tech sales. I've actually been with them for 11 years. So what I'm going to bring to the table is more so tools to navigate life skills and really focusing on mindset for youth. Just so y'all don't have to figure it out when you're our age. Y'all can figure it out when y'all are younger.
Yeah, some of you, some of us a little older than others, but it's okay. Had to shoot that jab.
Yeah.
Coach Mike, go ahead. It's on you, Coach Mike. Let them know who they is.
All right, so my name is Michael Patterson. I'm from South Georgia. If you can't tell by the accent, I am a disabled United States Army veteran. Uh, Played football in high school. God didn't build me to go any further than that. But He gave me the mindset to be around the youth and share my knowledge with them. I've been around youth and high school sports probably since I was 14, 15 years old. I'm 44 years old now. I've traveled 40 of the 50 states in the United States of America.
I did not know that,
So,
Cole.
I've been around and been to quite a few places. Worked in the corporate world. Was in the education system for number of years. I coached at Immokalee High, Thomas County Central, East Lee, and Lehigh Senior High School. And so I'm a free agent right now. So we're gonna find out where that next stop gonna be at.
Pull up on me. Yes, sir.
So hey man, y'all just pay it, just listen out, man. Your boy gonna land somewhere soon, and I'm gonna let y'all know where I'm gonna be at, man. But that's me in a nutshell, man. Coach Mike.
Yes, yes. So, right now, I'm gonna let the audience know how we got this show together and how our minds came together to produce a product to educate our community, especially here in Southwest Florida, because it seems like we're always getting the information last. And we want to get our audience and the people around us and all the kids and stuff that deal with us and parents that we associate with, give them the education and the tools that they need to make sure their kid in this sports arena is taking full advantage of everything that it has to offer, because a lot of times we get inside of a sport and we don't really maximize its full potential to benefit us during life and after sport life, pretty much. I don't even know if I said it right, but understanding like when you're playing the sport, how you got to handle your situation, and then when you're outside of the sport and you're done, because the sport is going to end one day. What can you do? What opportunities there for you? You know what I'm saying? And what type of education you need to make sure you can make these things happen and create a different life for yourself. And one of the biggest things that's happening right now, Coach Mike, me and you've been talking about this, and then we introduced Jason to it, and he understands the concept. But the NIL deal, and we're going to be doing a lot of educating on that here coming in the next episodes. So, Coach Mike, I want you to talk about what is NIL deal, and how how is Beyond the Field going to navigate its way to make sure our audience can fully understand and comprehend what they need to do to take advantage of these situations.
You're on mute, brother.
There
Got to
we
get that.
go.
Oh, get that mic right.
All right, so NIL stands for name, image, and likeness. And a couple years ago, the NCAA, I think it was 2021, they passed a ruling or a law that players can make money off of their name, their image, and their likeness. Previously, they could not earn any money. They could only just go to school and get the supplement or the stipend, whatever the school gave them. So within the last 6, 7 months, it has come to the state of Florida. It's coming to all states, and so
Eventually.
now it's in the high school rankings. So now players can earn money off their name, their image, and their likeness. And there are a couple guidelines that you have to go by, some boundaries that you have to set, and we're gonna talk about that more in the upcoming episodes. But I think it's very important that we share this information with the community. Because I always say this, and I don't want nobody getting upset with me. Florida has the best product when it comes to athletes. Hands down, it ain't even close. I done been
Most
to
definitely.
Texas. I done coached in Georgia, Alabama. Hands down, it ain't even close. But Florida does not take care of their product. They don't take care of the product at all.
No,
In
no.
Georgia, athletes are taken care of. In Texas, athletes are taken care of. And so
Yes,
we wanna put this information out there to help parents and student athletes be informed so they can make the best decisions for them, not only right now but also in the future. Also
most
in the
definitely.
future. So
Now, Jason, understanding your background and NIL deal and what people think a lot of it is compensation money. And there a lot of people there's a lot of athletes that's gonna come into money and their mentality has to change. And we talked about how we're going to implement into our show these things. Talk a little bit about how, what are some of the things that, because you're gonna be the finance guy, because you have that background. I can't talk that talk more than you because you've been around it a little more than I have. So just give a little spiel of what people, the audience could look for type of information that you would provide them to make sure their student athlete is, you know what I'm saying, making the right choices, especially when it comes to that dollar.
Exactly. So really, what what this is really going to focus on is what this title is, beyond the field, and that means now and in the future. And it's really going to focus on the
Hey,
mindset. What is your mindset? What So when we talk about name, image, and likeness, and likeness, image, is it just the image, or is it going to be you? Is it going to be focused on really what are you thinking about? Are you going to attract success beyond the money? And then that goes to, we're going to be touching on gratitude, action, success, significance, service. Those are the ways that we're going to really shine beyond the field.
most
Because
definitely.
while we're out on that field, it's only, you're only there for a short period of time, and yes, you have to actually put in the work to actually get there. But if you're blessed with a lot, there also comes a lot of responsibility too.
Most definitely.
So that's what we're going to be focusing on what are you thinking about, and then really navigating through those windy roads. Because if we're helping you to get on a road of success, that road is narrow and
Very.
it has a lot of bumps, turns, but has a lot of great moments if the mindset is right. If you're on that wide road, there's so many pitfalls, and that road is short too. So our goal here is to really make your road long.
Most definitely.
That's it.
And so right now, I'm gonna give a brief story of, you know what I'm saying, how, name, image, and likeness helped me, and also how it, went against me. My background is a little intense. I had an opportunity to play professional ball, but at that time, I wasn't on what Jason was on when it came to money. So money came in and money came out. And at that time, I started getting in the streets, doing things that I had no business. And I'm a professional athlete at this time. So my name, image, and likeness at this time, value stock was going down because of not understanding how to manage my money, but also trying to find different revenue streams that led me to a place, you know what I'm saying? I don't wish upon too many people. I ain't gonna say everybody because some people need to be there. I'm sorry. It is what it is. But I don't wish on too many people. And then understanding how I tarnished that, I was a professional ball player. People looked up to me, kids looked up to me with, admiration. And then here we go. I got a mug shot. Bam. You know what I'm saying? And now rewind the time. I mean, fast forward the time, and here 6 years after that situation, what was I going to do next? And I didn't know, and God was guiding my steps at the time. But I came home where I actually had an opportunity to go play in Orlando. I played there for 9 games, and they tried to trade me to Utah. And this was after 5 years out of prison. But I chose to come home and start working odd end jobs. But I started training my nephews, and family members, and anybody else that wanted it for free. And I started Big Dreams Sports TV with some phenomenal people. Shout out to Owen, shout out to Johnson, shout out to Coach Mike. You was on there. Shout out to Jesse Dortch. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to Courtney. You guys were amazing. And we need to get the team back together. But I had to change the narrative of what people thought about me last. Last, what they seen was a mugshot. A guy, you know what I'm saying, that was, you know, very qualified athlete, but took the wrong turn. So I came back and I had to figure it out. And, in my journey, I was always blessed to have good people around me, and we started working with kids. And I start understanding that my mission statement was I went right so I can teach them how to go left when the situation hits the fan. And I started putting out content on social media. I started, training for free. I started creating events, and I started showing people who I really was. Was I perfect at doing some of this stuff? No, not by far. But I knew I had to change what people thought of me. And it gave me opportunities with my name, image, and likeness, because when you pull up my record, my name, image, and likeness, in 2011, you would have pulled up Andrew. You can Google yourself. In 2011, you would have pulled up Andrew Layton. It would have showed a mugshot. Now you pull up Andrew Layton. It shows big dreams. It shows coaching, different things to, enhance my brand. And I had to take it. And I tell you now, right now, once you tarnish your brand, it's still several doors that you won't be able to get in. And there's several doors I won't be able to get in. And that's okay. And that's fine with me. But that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now, to make sure the kid, the parent that's watching this, we have to take yourself serious. Coach Mike, you say this all the time. What is a child? When they give, what is they? A walking business.
Right. Walking,
And
talking corporation.
yeah, so elaborate on a little bit about that, because I think that probably went over people's head. A walking, talking corporation.
Yeah, so it's something that I started with my kids years ago, and I used to tell them, like, you're a brand, you know, and so our brand is the Patterson. It's the last name. And I remember I was around the guy, and he said, you want to work so hard that you don't have to introduce yourself to people. People will know who you are. And that'll be
Okay.
based on the work that you've put in, and it'll be based on your brand. And so I started with my kids, and I always told them, wherever you're at, you're not just representing yourself, you're representing the brand, which is our last name, Patterson, Patterson. And you never want to bring any shame or any disrespect to it, you know. And so I took that and I started working with youth with that, and letting them know, like, hey man, you're a walking, talking corporation. Like, there are some young men that are walking around right now. I got a young man that I coach and mentor, and I tell him all the time, in 3 to 4 years, you're going to be a multimillionaire. But the decisions you make today is going to determine that. So you
Most
want to
definitely.
make sure that you have an image that anybody can come spend money with you. Like, you got a great image, And so, and I'm now my path don't go like Drew's did, but I had to go back and get my name, image, and likeness. I had to make sure I understood what perception was, because sometimes people can
Mm,
take a snapshot of you in a moment where you're not at your best, and then that's all they think about who you are, and that's not
word.
the person that you are. So whenever you go out in public, man, you have to always be on your P's and Q's, and have an understanding of who you are and where you are, and that's part of you building your personal brand. And I always tell young men, especially student athletes, man, that you ain't got to work for nobody. You ain't never got to work for nobody. God gave you a gift, and if once you understand what that gift is, you start putting it out in the world, and your gift will make room for you and allow you to make a profit so you can take care of yourself and your family. And so that's why I call it a walking talking corporation.
It ain't never been the same, baby. Well, don't do me wrong. $1 million, baby. So you got to understand, man, if you do it right and follow the things that we'll be putting out here on the channel, we're going to guide you to make sure you understand how impactful you can be. And it's not what a lot of guys think. This NIL is we're dealing with very murky waters, and it's going to be a lot of situations where people saying one thing and it's a totally different. And we're going to make sure we break that down and give y'all guys the GPS roadmap to get to where you need to go to get to that badge, to get to that financial future. But we also want to make sure you're there in the right headspace, because you can get millions and millions of dollars and lose your soul, and we don't want that to happen. You know what I'm saying? We want you to be happy in your skin. That's why we brought brothers. That's why I brought brothers on here that's been mentors and that understand um, how the youth works, and we're gonna continuously grow on this channel and talk about it. So, Jason, give me an example of when name, image, likeness worked and didn't work for you.
Wow, man, this had me thinking. So I'm gonna tell you when it really didn't work for me. In reflection, when I was in high school, young, when I was early in college, because wasn't really comfortable in my own skin, trying to please people that really didn't matter in my life, and doing things that really didn't add to who I actually was. So I would say that really didn't add to my image and my likeness, because I did have other people watching things I was doing or getting involved in, and it didn't really add to really who I actually was. So right now, what does that mean to me? And I'd say, man, my biggest teachers are my children. Um, that adds to my image and my likeness. If you were to ask people that know me and know me well, they would actually tell you that I love being a father.
Most
Um,
definitely.
I do sales. Of course, I want to make money, but I've also gotten to the point where I've learned how, if I'm helping people, that money is going to come. So money is not the driver. So you're learning what is your gift, and then you use that gift, and the gift isn't for you, really, it's for other people. And you use that gift and you give it to them, and then you end up getting in return. It does come back. It does come back. Definitely comes back. So right now, that's really what I'm really learning about my name. And also, all of us are, I mean, we're on here trying to help, focusing on helping people. We're also learning too, and we're still growing
Most
as well.
definitely.
So
Always.
so with that mindset, that's how we're going to keep on helping me. And that's where you can also hold up your name, because nobody is perfect. We're going to have different perspectives, different reactions, different thoughts, but with being humble and wanting to actually grow, we'll be able to get better actually. So does that make sense, fellas?
Oh, that makes all the sense in the world, and that's why we're doing this, having this conversation, man. Because
Yes,
people
sir.
need to people need to hear it, and understand, that This is a huge space, like a huge, and opportunities are endless if you put yourself in the right space, you do things the right way. Is it gonna be easy? Nope. But I seen a quote on Facebook, social media somewhere. It said, "What heart do you want?" And what it means by that is you go and you go to work as an adult. You go to work 9 to 5. You feel what I'm saying? You get paid on Friday. You live in a rat race. It's hard being in the rat race. Now let's switch it up. You build a multi-million dollar business. It's gonna be hard. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you try to do, it's still gonna be hard. So how do you sit up here and understand what hard do you want? And I choose the latter. I want to be that millionaire, making it happen. You feel me? And that's the hard. But I took easy way out. I was lazy. I was, you know what I'm saying, procrastinating. And my rights, I'm gonna help y'all make sure y'all go left. And we have to make sure as a collective, you get as much information as possible when it comes to this. Don't just believe what I say, believe what Coach Mike say, believe what Jason say. We say something to you, go do your research. Go check it out because it makes you better as an individual. It ups your game, it ups your knowledge as well. And you know what I'm talking about? You can always drop in the comment below. We was wrong, y'all was right, and we cool with that. We ain't got no ego. If we was wrong, y'all call us out. Go ahead and drop it in the comment. So, but we've been on here and this is just the intro. So next week we will be diving in, understanding NIL deals clearly, everything that goes into that and entitles that. But we just want to give you guys a brief, of who we are, what's our mission statement, and what we plan on doing. So, Coach Mike, go ahead and give him a little spiel.
So beyond the field, I remember some years back I was talking to one of my church members, and her grandson was having some issues, and she was like, he still want to live in them high school days, but now it's time for him to grow up, and it's time for him to become a man. And she said, I don't think y'all did a good enough job teaching him that. And so it went off, beyond the field, and she was absolutely correct. Like, we're not teaching our young men, or our let me say this, we're not teaching our student athletes to be full student athletes.
Most definitely.
And what that mean is, when a young man come through a program, and it's just my belief, it's just my belief, I try to make sure when that young man, or let me say, when that student athlete leaves the program, they have an ideal of what they want to do. Because football gonna stop for everybody, basketball gonna stop for everybody, women's basketball, women's
Even
football,
golf.
all that's gonna it's gonna stop. It's gonna go away. And then what are you left with? And a lot of times we're left with a lot of student athletes. They have mental health issues because they still want that limelight, they still want all that, but now you in the real world and it don't come like that every day. And now you got to be your own cheerleader. You got to give your own pit rally. Like, you got to do that stuff yourself. You got to find your job. You ain't got nobody out here coaching you every day. So I always tell my kids, man, I'm not just your coach for right now, I'm your coach for life. Whatever you need, I can't give you no money, but any advice, you need to use my name.
You
Hey,
want
I got you, man. I got you. But don't, if you had the gas station, you on your last one, I might be able to help you out. Uh, but that's beyond the field. So now when they leave the program, when they leave these high schools, when they leave these cities, man, like, they have an understanding of who they want to be in the future. And I always say, just because you don't make it to the league, don't mean you can't make it to the league. Because when you turn that TV on and you see, all those vendors, and you got doctors and you got lawyers, And these sports industries, man, they're everywhere. You pick out what you want to do. What's your gift? And we're gonna talk about that a little bit more. What's your gift? How do you figure out what your gift is, and then how do you apply it? Because once you apply it, just like Jason said, man, that thing gonna come back to you tenfold. Don't keep it, don't hide it, give it out, man. Share it with the world. And
Most
people will
definitely.
walk up to you, man. And I remember a couple years ago, I was coaching out in the Mocker League. I never paid for a meal. I go out and eat, man. People would, hey, oh, your bill already taken care of. Yeah. And then I look up and somebody like, I got you. And so that's part of the gift, man. But yeah, beyond the field, man, we out here and we putting in work, and we're gonna share our collective years of experience with the world, man. We just trying to do our part.
All right. So, man, I thank everybody for tuning in, watching the show. We will be hitting y'all next week, hard, heavy, with this NIL deal, giving y'all the insight information and we want you guys to come along, join us in the journey, get educated with us. We have some experience, but we're definitely diving and learning more and more, reading different laws every day. So please check us out next week. We'll be tuned in, same time, same location. Thank you guys for tuning in. Beyond the Field, we
All right.
out.
Peace.